evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 29th. This is the weather synopsis for the United States here in the Midwest. We have a low pressure system which is situated over in the Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado border this evening. That storm system is going to be intensifying overnight into tomorrow as it moves east, northeast. It's also going to be responsible for bringing the northern jet stream and the southern jet stream together. Once that happens, the contrast temperatures become much more intense along the front, which of this low pressure system, much more intense. You have the Arctic air to the north and you have the tropical heat to the south, and then the storm becomes even more intense. But also once that happens, that's when we develop a solid snowstorm, which here in the Midwest usually produces about 6 to 12 inches on the heavy side. If you were to judge by the barometric pressure how much snow that this should produce, you would be forced to say it's more than 6 to 12 inches. You would be forced to say it has to be more than 6 to 12, because if all the other storms are 6 to 12, those storms are 29.4 barometric pressure usually. 29.2 is usually when we go ahead and forecast 12 to 18 inches, says top experts in AccuWeather. This one's going down to 28.8. This is something that doesn't usually happen here in the Midwest. So if there's a forecast that said 18 to 24 inches, 18 to 30 inches, I certainly could defend that forecast. I don't think we have such forecasts right now. I think the forecasts at one point were saying 12 to 18. I think they went down to a foot, and now it's even possible they're down to 4 to 8 inches. If you want to hear the defense for their forecast, the explanation for their forecast, the National Weather Service does a great job at explaining things. You can go onto the National Weather Service websites for Duluth, Minnesota, places there. If you could understand French, you can go to the Thunder Bay, the National Weather Service up in Canada, Ontario, and figure it out over there. The ingredients are in place to produce a major winter storm. As meteorologist Dave Murray used to say, the three ingredients, when these three things come together in the Midwest, you need three ingredients to produce a major winter snowstorm, which is defined as 6 inches of snow or more. You need the Arctic air mass, deep low pressure, and Gulf moisture. You have that here, so 6 inches. Well, they're forecasting 4 to 8, so you still get the 6 inches. I guess you can still get it in. There's also a possible ice storm. Okay, enough with that. We go back down to where we are, here in the Chicago area. But really, actually, let's go to Indianapolis, Cincinnati, those cities. Those are going to be getting it the best. Real warm air is coming in for tomorrow. A unique setup. This is really unique, just perfect to keep those temperatures rising a solid 6, 7, 8 degrees warmer than all of the surrounding places. It's because of this bubble of dry air that's somehow developing in northern Tennessee that's going to be moving into Indianapolis and Cincinnati for tomorrow afternoon. So usually ahead of a low pressure system, you have this warm, moist air that comes in off the Gulf of Mexico. And that is what's going to be happening, especially this time of the year. You get that warm, humid air. It usually a lot of times comes with clouds and stuff, so temperatures get much warmer. Temperatures go into the 70s. But when you also have a dry air, which is interfering with the warm, moist air, that makes the sun becomes more efficient at heating things up. So those temperatures actually get even warmer in those cities. And that's why a place like Indianapolis might be the winner, the city which sees the largest upward trend in temperature in one day. The high temperature today was 44. I know AccuWeather says the high tomorrow will be 74. National Weather Service mentioned upper 70s in their forecast discussion. They described the situation that should have no issue bringing the temperature to 80. Upper 70s, most areas are getting about a 25-degree temperature jump. It is going to get warmer in Chicago. The warm air makes it here. Highs going into the upper 50s to mid 60s, maybe upper 60s, maybe even 70 degrees. And the real warm air, if we do hit 70, it probably will stay south of Interstate 80. When you get into Indiana, the temperatures of seeing a 70-degree reading go up because they're going to be in the warm sector after the storm has already really gotten itself together. So that makes that warm sector becomes even warmer, especially when you go into southeast, like Indianapolis, you go into Ohio. All those cities in Ohio, Ohio in particular, even Cleveland, Ohio, temperatures going from the highs in the 30s today going to the 60s tomorrow. There's a 30-degree temperature rise. But in Cleveland, we mentioned yesterday, they don't drop. They're not going to drop tomorrow night. That's a Cleveland special. Real warm. That's a present from heaven. Temperatures might drop down to 59, 60 Wednesday night. You're in for a 2-day warm spell. Temperatures go back into the 60s on Thursday. So it's not a 70-degree warm spell, but you get 2 days of it, and temperatures are going to be warmer there at night than any other cities and north of the Gulf Coast states. So that's quite a present for you guys. On the back side of the storm system, though, many of these cities are going to be getting snow, including the Chicago area on Thursday. That is that's a doubt as in regards to what exactly is going to be happening on Thursday as wraparound moisture comes into the area. The storm system is going to be intensifying at a rapid enough pace. That's the types of storms that you get the wraparound moisture. Maybe you see it by other storms too, but I know those types of storms in particular are known for wraparound moisture, according to a meteorologist in Baltimore. So the storm system pulls away, the precipitation ends, but then we start to get the precipitation back into the area. And when it comes back into our area, temperatures probably will be cold enough for the precipitation to be falling as snow, or at least a rain-snow mix. And there could even be some snowfall accumulation over here in Chicago and other places as well. Even when you go out east into Indiana, that's a possibility. And then in Indiana, South Bend, Indiana, might even get some lake enhancement. It seems like the air won't be as cold as it was last week, and they report that there was an inch of snow at the official reporting station for South Bend last week. So that means there would be less than an inch of snow here from lake enhancement, but things don't always work out the way people think they're going to work out. So you'll have to see what actually ends up happening in reality. Anyways, this warm air then goes off to the East Coast. Places, it's the same rule. Further to the east and south you are. Baltimore's more southerly. They go up into the 70s. Philadelphia, the 70s. But when you hit the New York area, you have to get into New Jersey if you want to see the 70s. Maybe New York will get to the 70s. I don't know. Probably not. Mid or upper 60s, probably. Passaic, New Jersey, going way up into the 70s. Lakewood, probably around 70 degrees. Newark, probably low 70s, something like that. When you get into the places further to the east and the south, the east, that's where you're going to get the warmer temperatures. Temperatures in the 70s. Warmer temperatures in Boston and Providence as well, but highs only in the low 60s for that area. And that's for Thursday. Maine doesn't quite get that warm at all. High temperatures warm up into the low 40s for Thursday, and then the cold air makes it to the East Coast following the storm system, just like it makes it here in the Midwest. I wish everyone a wonderful night. Thank you for listening.